Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full glam makeup look as showed on screen. I've done it before and I am obsessed with how it turned out. It's going to be like a winged liner look, no lashes, and then like a red lip. I've already done my skincare and everything, and I'm not fake tan today, so I'm pretty pale compared to usual, so I'm going to be sticking with my paler foundations and concealers, but still going to make it like super bronzy and glowy. So yeah, if you're interested on this makeup look, just keep on watching. So I'm going to start with primer, because I like to do primer first, let that sink in, and then I do my eyes, and I come back to my face. So use the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I really like this one because it's got SPF 15 and it gives a really flawless like look to the skin, and it primes really nicely. Now for eyes, I'm going to start by priming with the Hourglass Vanish Concealer, and I'm in the shade Cotton. And to blend out that concealer for my eye primer, I'm going to use the Zoeva Concealer Buffer Brush. I always use this for concealer on my eyelids. You could be the sky. Now for eyeshadow, I'm going to be doing more of a bronzy, warm eyeshadow look, pretty much like I always do. I'm going to use the Revolution eyeshadow palette. I'm going to use my Zoeva Luxe Soft Definer brush, which I always use for blending in my eyeshadow. To set the concealer, I'm going to use the shade Sweetie, which is just like a sort of more of a pinky toned skin colour. It doesn't really matter like if it's not exactly your tone, but just like to set the concealer before you do eyeshadow. I'll just put that all over my eye. I usually do a mixture of two different shades for the transition, but I'll probably just do chocolate, just like a warm brown, light brown. Just take that through the crease. You can kind of bring that transition shade outwards, just like sort of wing it out slightly. It doesn't matter if this is also kind of messy when you're blending out your eyeshadow, because you can always clean it up later with like a makeup wipe or micellar water. Now we're going to use the Luxe Petite Crease brush, which is a Zoeva one as well. Pretty much all my brushes are either Zoeva or Morphe. So I'm going to use the shade, a mixture of Amber and Burnt, which are like just really warm, sort of like reddish brownish shades. Yeah, and I'm just going to put that on that brush and focus this more on the outer third of my eye. So now I'm going to get the Luxe Definer Crease brush back, and I'll just blend that darker shade into like the outer, like the C. Also, sometimes I find that when I'm putting these shadows like on my outer third of my eye and I'm blending them out, I can kind of lose the color a bit, so sometimes I'll just dip back into those darker shades. I'll just pack on a bit more color and blend it out. So keep up the pigment. So I think today I'm going to use Dynamite, which is a gold shimmer shade in the middle of the palette. And I'm probably going to put that in the middle of my eye. Look at that, it's so good. In the middle of my lid, and sort of blend it in a bit, and then I'll also mix it with the Crumble shade, which is more of a coppery, darker brown shade. So I'm just putting that golden shade pretty much all over my lid, sort of bringing it in a bit, not going too far out, not going too far up either. Keeping it sort of in the center of the lid. And I find with shimmer shades I always like to use my finger because it makes it heaps more pigmented, and while I don't have fake nails on at the moment, it's definitely a lot easier. Before I do my eyeliner, I'm actually just going to put some lip balm on because I forgot to do it before, and it's the Glow Recipe Lip Pop. It's just like a lip balm. It's good for like before your lipstick, like prepping your lips, but also like for every day as a treatment with like sort of exfoliant in it. It looks really unique. Oh, it smells like watermelon. Now I'm going to do my eyeliner. I always use the Quick Flick. I'm using the 10mm Modest. So I'm going to put those wings on off camera, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what they look like. So I've done the wing liner and it's looking pretty even, so I'm going to leave it there. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Volume Million Lashes by L'Oreal in Extra Black. Probably also do another mascara as well, because I usually use two when I'm not using lashes to make my lashes a bit longer and more voluminous.
A fingerprint, one of a kind, the horizon.
Okay, so the second mascara I'm going to be using is the Benefit Roller Lash. This one's more of a curling one, whereas the L'Oreal one's more of a volume. So I think it's a good combination to have a bit of both. I apply like quite a few layers as well. I like nice, long, thick lashes.
You could be the one that turns my world.
Okay, so that's the mascara done. Put a bit of this Urban Decay Gold eyeliner glitter just on top of the liner a little bit, just to add a bit of gold glitter. I'm pretty much just going to put like a tiny bit just above the black eyeliner that I've already got on.
Till sundown.
Okay, so now we'll move on to the face. So I've already done the primer, so we're going to do foundation. I'll probably do a combination of my NARS Sheer Glow in the shade Vanuatu, which I used in my last video, with the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumina Radiance Perfecting Foundation, and this is in the shade 1N1 Cream. And I'm also going to mix that with the Drunk Elephant D Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops, which just makes it a bit bronzy and glowier. Also, like, if you use a pale foundation, if you want to make it a bit darker, you can mix it with that. I'm just going to make this like probably a medium coverage foundation, so we don't want it too full coverage or cakey. And I just mix them on the back of my hand because I feel like it warms up the product. I just sort of start by dotting it over my face with my finger, and then I blend it in with a foundation brush. This is just my preference. I prefer using a foundation brush over a beauty blender for foundation. The Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH03 foundation brush.
For life, never seen such a fine design. Outline so bright, only see you once in a while. Staying out of town, skyline tonight. A fingerprint, one of a kind.
Okay, so my foundation's done now. It's nice and even. Definitely like a medium coverage. And now I'm going to do my under eye concealer. I'm going to use the same concealer I used for my eye priming, which is the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. And I'm just going to dot that under my eyes a bit, not put too much because I've got dry under eyes. And I'll also put a tiny bit on the top of my nose, the tip, just to highlight. And I'm going to blend that out with concealer buffer brush, the same one I used for my eye priming. And then use a beauty blender to blend it out. And now I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light, just to use like around my nose and on my chin to make the redness a bit more covered up.
Feel so hypnotized that all I see is you in my mind. Yeah, I'll settle tonight. I'm blind by your light. I've been given chances.
So now I'm going to do my powder for my under eyes. I'm going to use the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I'm going to use the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH07 powder brush. Very sparingly put this under my eyes because I don't really like dry, creasy under eyes. And I also bring that powder just around my nose and my chin where I put the concealer before. Set that down. And then I just powder my T-zone a bit, like around my nose and my chin. Now I'm going to put a bit of liquid highlighter on. I'm going to use the Mecca Max Liquid Light, and I use the shade Gold. Just a little bit. Usually do about 3 little drops on my cheekbones. Then I'll just put like a little bit on the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, and the chin. And then I will blend that out with my finger.
So many times said I deserve someone right. Said you mean.
So now I'm going to do my brows. I'm going to use the same combo with my brows every time pretty much. So the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil and the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt in Deep Brown. And I just use that like pretty much every time. Just comb them through and just fill them in like naturally. I forgot to mention also the brow pencils in the shade 4.5. I usually use like 4.5 or 5 I think, which is like a dark brown. So I'm just going to set that with the Maybelline Tinted Brow Gel that I mentioned earlier. Just lightly comb this through just to set them. I just applied the Loving Tan Bronze Shimmer Luminous Cream in dark, just on my neck, chest and arms to make my body the same colour as my neck because I thought it was just a bit too dark with the foundation that I needed to make my body a bit darker. I'm going to do my under eye eyeshadow and mascara. So I'm going to use the Revolution palette again, and I'm going to use like the same matte brown warm shades I use for my eyelids on my lower lash line. So I'm going to use like an Urban Decay small fluffy brush just to put that under my eyes and blend it out. So I'll probably use chocolate, burnt and amber and just mix them together. And I'll just very lightly put that under my eyes on my lower lash line. And when I do my under eye eyeshadow, I only ever go about like 3/4 of the way in. So I'm just going to put the Benefit Roller Lash Concealer under my eyes. Also, something else I like to do, I like to use the Frank Body Original Coffee Lip Scrub if my lips need to be exfoliated. Okay, so now I'm going to do powder bronzer. I'm going to be using the Benefit Cooler Bronzer. And I sometimes use the brush that comes in with the bronzer, but I'm just going to use my Zoeva one because I feel like it's a bit easier to blend and it doesn't put too much of the product on the brush. So it's the Luxe Sheer Cheek brush, and I don't apply too much of this product because it is pretty pigmented. So I'll just like sort of put a bit on my cheekbones.
I can't deny. It could be the skyline tonight.
So now I'm gonna move on to blush. I'm gonna use a matte blush today that I haven't actually tried before. It's like a blush duo, actually really nice colors, and I'm gonna probably mix the shades Adore Me and Hold Me, which are the 2 shades in the palette. Just really nice muted blush shades, and I'm using the same brush for my blush as I did for my bronzer. I'm just gonna apply a little bit on my cheeks just to give the most natural effect. I'm going to wipe off my lip balm. I'm going to put my lip liner and lipstick on. I'm going to use the Sephora Collection Lip Liner to Go. Oh, Classic Red, number 3. Now, so I'm just going to line my lips normally. Definitely with red lipstick you want to make it really sharp and defined. So I'm probably going to go in with some concealer or something like around to make them nice and precise. I get a bit of the Hourglass concealer just on Q-tip just to like sort of sharpen up that lip liner a bit because I'm a bit of a dodgy lip liner applier, not gonna lie. So now for lipstick, it's the Chanel Rouge Allure Le Rouge Intense Luminous Intense Lip Color in the shade 837 Rouge Spectacular. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but it is a good lipstick. It's nice and luminous, not matte, which is good. Keep those lips hydrated. And how beautiful is that? So I'm just going to apply that on my lips, as you do.
Could be my skyline tonight, so dark in the light. I fingerprint one of a kind.
And now I'm going to apply my setting spray to my face, which is the All Nighter one by Urban Decay. It's really good for long lasting makeup.
The horizon of mine. You could be the one that turns my...
And now for my highlighter, which I always like to apply on top of the setting spray because it makes my glow a bit more intense. I'm going to use the Mecca Cosmetica Enlightened Powder. It's a really nice rose gold colour. And I'm going to spray the setting spray onto my Morphe highlighting brush just to make the highlighter a bit more intense. Get that maximum glow. And I'll just put that powder highlighter everywhere where I put the the glowy Mecca Max highlighter. So this is the finished makeup look.
Till sundown for life. Never seen such a fine design. Outline so bright.